Hello, this is Marcus Talks, and we are back with our next game collection tour. This time we'll be catching up on what I've been collecting for the 3DS in recent times, and next time we will be looking at the Nintendo Switch collection. But
Yeah, we just got to stop it right there. Please like, comment, subscribe. I do not get joy out of doing this because it feels like begging, but apparently asking helps, so I have to do it. Now back to what you wanted to watch.
let's just get started with the digital games I've been downloading. I've gotten a few more recently. There we go. So to start, we've gotten Box Boy. Wait, let's just get that there. The original. Box Boy, Box Boy, Box Boy. And Bye Bye Box Boy. As well as Kirby's Blowout Blast. And here we have DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe. Kirby Fighters Deluxe. Chibi-Robo Photo Finder. My Nintendo Picross, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. And Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. The newest ones to the collection were the first four right here. The rest I've had for a while now, but just didn't talk about them because they weren't part of the tour before. So out of these new games, I've only done Box Boy so far. It's a great puzzle game. Honestly, it's a little sad that it's not going to be available anymore by next year. And I'm sure the next two games are just going to be as good, if not better. So I can't wait to get around to doing that. Now let's look at DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe. This is an interesting rhythm game. You bounce around on drums and have to clap on the offbeat. It's fun. I'd like to see them do another rhythm game in this style, but I highly doubt that we will. Kirby Fighters Deluxe. I mean, it's kind of like a Smash Brothers alternative. It's fine. It has unique stages. It has... you fight as Kirby's with their copy abilities. It's okay. You need a group of friends to truly get into it. And then Kirby's Blowout Blast. Also another thing. This was another recent purchase. Have not got around to playing it yet. Chibi-Robo Photo Finder. I really love the original Chibi-Robo on GameCube, but this one's a little too different and kind of hard to get into. So I've gotten through some bits of it, but it's been intermittent. My Nintendo Picross, I have almost completed. I've completed two of the major puzzle portions. Then there's these larger puzzles that make the clues harder to understand. I have not finished those. It's a decent game. You can get it for free if you have enough Platinum My Nintendo points. So another decent thing you could pick up right now. And then Rhythm Heaven Mega Mix. This is my first exposure. On the camera, that character was turning up as white almost, but they are pink. Yeah, right there. This is my first exposure to the series. I don't know why I haven't played any of these games sooner. It was so fun. I will try to get some of the older games, and sadly, this game was not released physically in North America. If it was, I would have picked up a physical copy. And then here we have the 3D Classics games. 3D Classics Kid Icarus. 3D Classics Excitebike. 3D Classics Kirby's Adventure. Interestingly enough, these games were all made from the ground up instead of being ported over. So Kirby's Adventure is this one is the only version of this game that does not lag. If you play the original version or any emulated version, it experiences tons of lag during certain portions if there's too many assets on screen. This is the only version that doesn't. Unless, of course, you have a emulator that someone made the game work on. And then 3D Classics Xevious. There's only 2 games in the 3D Classics series I have not purchased yet, being Urban Champion and Twinbee, which is kind of like Xevious, but I don't know. We got free to download games. Stretchmo, Steel Diver Subwars, and the only one I've actually put money into so far, Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. They built this using the same engine and art style that they used for the Street Pass games, I think. Except I can't play the Street Pass games because we're playing the 3DS in 2022, and I don't think there's many people in my area carrying their 3DS around for Street Pass. But yeah, this is a fun game. Basically baseball themed mini games. And it's so weird. It's a game where part of playing it is getting discounts on the actual games themselves. So you'll play one of the mini games, you get enough stamps, you will have the ability to haggle the prices of the other games down. It is so weird, but it's oddly fun, being able to save money by playing the game. Yeah, that's the downloaded games right there. We don't need you as a visual aid any longer. Now let's get into the actual stuff. Now, if you watched the other videos, you might be thinking, why did you bring Animal Crossing again? Well, the thing is, this is actually a different copy. It does not have that hole in the back. I got another copy just so I could play through the game again. And also, you know, not have to delete my old one. It also gave me a chance to look back at this game and truly appreciate that it is so much better than New Horizons in every way, shape, and form. Also, we don't need to open that again because you already saw the last video where I pulled it out. Now, I did get Mario & Luigi Dream Team physically. I had a 3DS that came with it pre-installed, but last video explained that story. Yeah, this is probably one of the better Mario & Luigi RPGs that they've made. The entire series was pretty good, but between this, Bowser's Inside Story, and Superstar Saga, the ones that I've played, I think this one is my favorite, purely because it's the one I put the most time into. The story is great. I love that most of these games come up with some wacky original characters and story for the entire game. A new location. Open up, please. There we go. There we go. There's always been simplified RPGs that are easier for kids to understand, but I don't know. I think people who enjoy more mature games, or even people who are more mature, can still enjoy these. They have decent humor to them. Oh, wait. Don't use that code. Oh, wait, what kind of code was that again? Even if it... Clubman. All right, yeah, don't use that code. Yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of playing this game. I've tried playing through it again. It might just be because tastes have changed, but still an amazing game. Then we have The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Honestly, this is how you do an open-ended Zelda game right. It still has a story. It still has specific orders you need to do certain things in. And it's got a great gimmick mechanic. honestly, a good sequel / remake of Link to the Past. I've played through Link to the Past. That is a good game. That's like the first legitimately good Zelda game, I think. But this game, again, I'm gonna get flack for this. This game is better than Breath of the Wild. Okay, now we've come to a really cool one. Get that off of there. Kid Icarus Uprising. This one is just so weird. It's hard to describe. Well, for one, you need the stand to kind of properly play the game for the console, because they tried to make a third-person shooter on a console where you're gonna get hand cramps constantly. I played the online mode of this game a few times, and again, we're talking 2022 online. There are still people playing this. Honestly, that's cool. Now, whoever I bought this from did not open the AR cards, so that's kind of cool. But it's nice that they are all here. I don't want to open them out of fear of losing them. I think you the viewer will understand what I'm saying about that. This is just a quirky game. I tried beating it. It gets hard later into the game. Like, the difficulty curve is real. Alright, yep, there we go. AR cards, Street Pass, Spot Pass, which, you know, Spot Pass does not exist anymore. And here we are, the very quirky control scheme. Aim with the touchscreen, shoot with the L button, and move with the circle pad. Fully voice acted, by the way. I find that really weird. Voice acting on a 3DS game. Most of the characters are very well done. And then we've got like a, you know, this one's going to take a second. Here we have the box art itself has an interesting interior, almost reversible inside cover, which I don't think you'd ever want to reverse this cover. But it's cool that it's there. And most of these squares fit through the 3DS's weird, whatever those holes are. What were those holes for? To save on plastic? Oh well. Phone going back down. Alright, and that's going back in there. I really need to beat this sometime. It's fun, but really weird. Like, trying to play through it, you would understand. It's hard to control. All right, next up, we have Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D. This was my first time playing Ocarina of Time. Another common thing going on here is I have a lot of these games and I'm trying to experience a lot of them, if not all of them. So I beat this one, then I started playing the Master Quest, and then I just kind of stopped after getting to the Fire Temple. But the first playthrough, excellent game. I can understand why everyone holds this game in such high regard, but there are a lot of iffy things about it, like having to roll everywhere or the favorite one now is Backwards Walking. Again, it's a good game. I wish I had the non-Nintendo Selects version, but this is how I could find it. And, you know, the Nintendo Selects thing, I feel like you could collect all of those by themselves and you'd still have a pretty good collection of games. All right. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. People have more issues with this one. Again, this was my first time playing. I think it was a perfectly fine game. Some of the complaints I've heard, like certain abilities costing energy, magic now, that didn't used to, like the Zora swimming. I never played the original game, so I don't know. But yeah, I was annoyed by that. Overall, a quality remake of a very well revered game. This is one of those, it's not even a cult classic anymore, just because people talk about how much they love Majora's Mask. If you meet someone who doesn't like Majora's Mask, they're supposedly crazy. New Super Mario Bros. 2, the one that has a coin gimmick that makes no sense. Collect a bajillion coins and you'll get a different title screen. Once you collect that many coins, I don't think you'll ever want to look at this game again. I've played through about the first world. It's a 2D Mario game. I'd probably just rather play Super Mario World or Super Mario Maker. But, I mean, this is good for an original game. It brings back the Tanuki power-up, the Tanuki leaf, and it adds a gold fire flower that turns everything to gold when you hit it. It's just, when you're relying off of coins, which do nothing in most Mario games other than give you 1-ups, when your entire gimmick is something that barely matters in the standard game, the gimmick doesn't really matter that much at all. All you've done is make getting lives easier, which we've already made lives pointless in most modern games. I mean, it's very well made, I'll say that. You wouldn't have a bad time playing this, but it might be a little hard to get into, especially if you've been playing richer gaming experiences recently. Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. Most of the stack has been it's kind of hard for me to get into it. Same with this. Probably because it's on the 3DS. Also, it's only for the new Nintendo 3DS. It certainly has more. It really depends on what you want. This is fine. I haven't played the original Wii version. I haven't played the deluxe version either, but if you want HD, go ahead and get the deluxe version. It's probably going to control way better. It's probably way more streamlined. The portion I'm stuck on in this game expects you to just run through enemies that kill you instantly. Unless, of course, I'm doing something wrong. I mean, I got into the story at the very least. It's just that the gameplay, the music though, this is a pretty high quality soundtrack. You Will Know Our Names. You know what? That's the biggest takeaway from it. This game, listen to You Will Know Our Names. That is like the ultimate boss battle music. We have Tomodachi Life now. Alright, I got into this for a little while. It's kind of hard to keep coming back to, especially when a lot of the same interactions happen over and over again, and you don't know how to make your own Miis very well. And just downloading other people's Miis kind of takes some of the fun out of it. and then the good interactions rarely happen. Like getting a couple Miis to start dating or something like that, which can be very funny. Or getting them married. Those events happen so rarely. Now, I wouldn't mind them making a new Tomodachi Life on the Switch. I would probably pick it up. If the same people who made Miitopia remastered Tomodachi Life, I think we would have a pretty decent game on our hands. They don't really need to add much to this. It has all the content it will ever need. Maybe some more interactions or making a higher limit to the amount of Miis you can have. Overall, adding more life to the game would be the key. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. This is I beat this before the regular Luigi's Mansion. I still have not beaten the original. This is a fun game. I beat this. It is fun. It's got great music too. Pretty decent control layout for what was undeniably an oddly set up control method for the original game. Pull you out of there. You're going on the bottom. Yeah, the Gloomy Manor Piano Library song. Also, great song. The 3DS really just had a lot of these catchy, undeniably memorable songs in a lot of their games. B was not the look down button, that was the run button. I don't recall that being looked down. Maybe I just was never stationary? Oh well, it never mattered. I beat the game. I did play this game's online a bit too. I did find some people early on when I first got it, but I tried again and there was no life. It was dead. I'd say I enjoy the original just a little bit more, but I have not put the time into actually beating it just because of where the console is set up and the hassle going through to set it up is. Yeah, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, good game. Alright, Kirby Triple Deluxe. One interesting thing to note here, on the Japanese cover, there is a cannon right here with a cannonball about right here. But apparently they felt that was too violent for the American box art, even though the cannons are still in the game. Some of the new abilities this game introduced ranged from fun, stupid, and another suplex grapple. This is where DDD's Drum Dash originated from in Kirby Fighters. If you have Kirby Triple Deluxe save data on your console, it will give some extra cosmetic stuff and 2 new fighter options for Kirby Fighters. Worthwhile right there. This had an interesting gimmick, Hypernova. You'd eat Hypernova fruit, and you could just suck up stuff. It was kind of like, you get it for a few segments, and then it's gone for a majority of the game. So, not really that important. But this is a way better Kirby game than Star Allies, I will say that. I would play it again. It had some great modes, especially where you played through the game in a speedrun form as King Dedede, just to shake things up a bit. Overall, really fun. The 3D gimmick was interesting too, with the hopping into the foreground and background over and over again. Ooh, and now we come to the stuff that practically just came in. Just got these very recently, within the last few days. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is there another copy of Animal Crossing? This is not just another copy of Animal Crossing. This is the Nintendo Select's Welcome Amiibo reprint. This is Amiibo compatible right out of the box. You do not need an update for this. Look at that. Even the cartridge is different. It says Welcome Amiibo right on it. You got a trailer right there. All right, I'm gonna level with you. The main reason I got this is because 3DS kind of has a problem. In my very original video that I posted on this channel, it's called The 3DS Has a Big Problem. I will cite that. I'm just going to say what the problem is kind of right here, right now. 3DS games would get updates. The updates save to the SD card on the system, not the game cartridge. And then once you make save data with the update, the game cartridge is no longer compatible unless you delete absolutely everything on the cartridge. So you lose everything, which is going to be a problem once the eShop closes down and updates are no longer downloadable. So reprints that have the updates right on the cartridge are going to be necessary in the future. Now, I know like it sounds like I'm a doomsday prepper or something like that. I guess I am. It's fair remark on your part, viewer. I don't know. This is more of a just in case, helping preserve gaming history right here. The interesting thing is, when you pop the cartridge in, it does actually show up as a slightly different game than regular New Leaf. It does have the Welcome Amiibo banner underneath, whereas the original cartridges do not. Other than that, exactly the same. It's just the game with the update loaded onto it. All right, what's next here? Okay. Star Fox 64 3D. It's wait, what? I'm confused. This is a Nintendo Select. Hold on. Here we have a Nintendo Select. It's got that golden emblem on the bottom. Another Nintendo Selects. It's got that golden emblem on the bottom. Give me a second here. That is weird. That is really weird. For some reason, this is one of the only ones that does not have the emblem on the spine. I'll put up a citation for that if I am wrong. I just started playing this though, so I don't have tons to say about it. I finished a single playthrough last night. I do have one remark to make about the Star Fox franchise as a whole. All of the most popular games have just been the SNES game, the original, remade over and over and over and over again. So first we had the original SNES version. I played through it, it was good. Then we had 64, which was a retelling of the original game. Then we had this remake of the 64 game, which was a retelling of the original game. And then we had Star Fox Zero, which was a retelling of Star Fox 64, which was a retelling of the original Star Fox. I just wanted to point that out there. Again, I am going to pop up a citation about that, whether or not this box art is even real. I hope I did not get duped. Get caught up in the thrill of buying stuff. In fact, give me a second. All right, I am back. So apparently, Star Fox 64 3D in the Nintendo Select version is the only one, really, that does not have the crown symbol on the spine. What is that all about? What? That is confusing. That was uncalled for. All right, here we have Pokemon X. I have Y digitally. I would like a copy of Y physically, but I don't feel a need to play through this right now since I just finished a playthrough of Y. I first, you know what? Don't use that code. Yeah, this had the player search system, the PSS as they called it. It worked fairly well. I used it in my most recent playthrough of Y. You will find weirdos on there, so that's something you always have to be weary of when playing online with any game, even kid-friendly ones. Yeah, fun game. Very contentious as far as the Pokemon games go. People complain, oh, the 3D games don't look as good. Oh, they should have remained sprites forever. I honestly could not care less. The sprites looked good. The 3D models look good. Some of them don't look as good as the sprites. I don't care. This was the first, well, Y was the first game I ever beat. So I have a soft place in my heart for this generation. But no, I am not going to play through this immediately. I'll do it after a while when I'm feeling bored and want to start transferring Pokemon over, because that's going to be blocked off soon. Next we have Triforce Heroes. Just reused the engine of A Link Between Worlds. I have not played this yet. I have not gotten around to it. Again, just picked these up, so haven't had time to play everything. But it looks like a fun game. I hope people are still active on it. 32 dungeons. It seems like a weird concept. I would like to try Four Swords Adventure, but that requires a GameCube, 4 Game Boy Advance systems, 4 link cables, and the, Game Boy Advance to GameCube attachment adapter. I will be checking this out soon. I liked Link's, A Link Between Worlds. I hope this holds up as good. I know it was kind of like a cash grab in some ways, trying to cash in on both reusing the same assets for certain things and also, oh, it's a multiplayer game. So hopefully that doesn't ruin it for me. Then next up we have Pokemon Sun and Moon. I got both of these at a pretty decent price. You can get a Z-Ring right there. I started playing Sun, so Moon will have to hold off for a while. Sun is a little... This game is a little hard to get into. It's very cutscene, story heavy early on, but most of these games are anymore. I tried to think back to my very first playthrough of Shield. That game was very cutscene heavy early on, and I guess I'm just blocking it out of my memory. The problem is this game does not let you explore at your own pace in certain areas. Like at least Sword and Shield had the wild area. You could explore as much as you wanted in there. But you know, I don't mind these games. They introduced regional forms to us. I think most of these regional forms are at least more visually and type-based, more interesting than the ones in Sword and Shield. I can't wait for the next games coming out at the end of this year. Scarlet and Violet. Also, isn't that a funny thing to notice? I don't have Y here to showcase this, but ever since Red and Blue on the original Game Boy, which Red and Blue was not real in Japan where the game's initially released. It was actually green, but side note, we've had Red and Blue in North America, then we had Gold and Silver, then we had Ruby and Sapphire, also basically just Red and Blue, then we had Diamond and Pearl, Pink and Blue, not in that order, then we had Black and White, then we had X, Blue, and then Y, Red, then we had Sun, Orange, Red, and Moon, Blue, Purple-ish, then we had Sword and Shield, another Blue and Red combo, and now we have Scarlet and Violet. They're not fooling us. Scarlet is just red and Violet's just like dark purpley blue. Can't believe they pulled that on us. Almost all of the games have been a combo of red and blue since the very beginning. We've only had like 2 outliers. But yeah, fun game. It's a little bit more challenging than I was expecting, if I'm being honest. But then again, I am just running from most of the wild battles because I don't want to curb stomp everything immediately, just out of my own interests. I don't just want to one-shot every single enemy in my path. Otherwise, the game would be really boring, really fast. Here we have Metroid Samus Returns from Mercury Steam. I've gotten pretty far in this so far. It's really good. You can definitely tell where Dread got a lot of its inspiration. Also, why did they do this? They didn't need to do this. If this is what the cases had looked like all the time, with the red at the bottom, I would have been fine with that. But they had been doing this. The gray one, very minute, not very noticeable, forever. They should have just kept that. This was such a stupid idea because they had changed the logo in 2017. Other than that, I have no problems with this game or even this case. This box art is amazing. It's kind of... I'll pop up a word if I find it. Reflective. Never mind. I don't need to pop up a word. It's got a reflective case for the galaxy and her armor in outer space. It's really cool. This is a remake of a Game Boy game. Now, I did find this new, I'm going to be honest. I found it new. I did open it because I just couldn't resist playing it. So, the game case and cartridge are in very pristine condition. And I want to keep it that way. Very nice. I'll pop up some video right now. Yeah, that was some video of the game case in its shrink wrap still, just to prove that this was new. And then we got a couple oddballs thrown in here. Well, first we'll start with the simple one. The original New Super Mario Bros. On DS. I got this for a decent price. It was thrown in with Sun and Moon when I got it on eBay. This is the one that started it all. The start of... Oh, yeah, DS cases are so hard to open. This is the one that started the new Super Mario Brothers plague that we currently live in. This one actually has a manual. Isn't that interesting? I haven't played this copy yet, but I had my sister-in-law's brother. There we go. No, wait. Yeah. I think he had this game, and he let me borrow it for a bit one day. I played through it a bit then. I just didn't play through much of it. But again, it's a decent 2D Mario game. I mean, what more could you ask for? This was released back when 2D Mario hadn't existed for forever, so people were excited. I don't see why people shouldn't be excited either. You know, it was a decent idea. Bring back 2D Mario, and it just happened to put it on one of Nintendo's best-selling consoles ever. I.e., their actual best-selling console ever. I feel like it's only a matter of time now before the Switch eclipses it based off of the amount of time it'll be available and just how popular it's become and how well they're marketing the Switch. The Switch has had some of the best marketing out of any Nintendo console I've seen in recent history. I don't remember seeing any amazing 3DS or Wii U ads. Most of the Wii U ads were garbage. And a lot of the Wii U ads even poked fun at the fact that, oh, we already have a Wii. Like, they literally made a joke about the thing that was their downfall during the Wii U's generation. Oh, we already have a Wii. That was your biggest problem. The 3DS was at least... yeah, even then, the Wii U and 3DS were a weird time. Oh, so it's a DS, but there's 3D on it? No, it's a new console with its own original games. Yeah. New Super Mario Brothers, this has some mini games that you can play on it, alone and with friends. I think some of them came from Super Mario 64 DS. Man, they were really great with naming games back then. Yeah, this one came with all of the games unlocked already, whereas I think 64 DS did not. Weird tidbit to know, just because I've watched so many people talk about so many games. I know a little too much at this point. I'm in over my head. All right, and now here's the weird one. I can't read this. I know that word. I know that word. I kind of know that. Zero-A. That says up. It's Nintendo again. That's the number 50. Yeah, I got a Japanese copy of Rhythm Heaven Gold. Or Rhythm Tengoku Gold. It's in good condition. Oh, that's nice. Most of the DS cases don't explicitly... Well, let's just get this back over here. Yeah, these top holder areas were so weird. They were for Game Boy Advance games, but they never explicitly stated that right there, did they? That's an interesting thing to notice. Nice gold reflective. Not sure how well the camera's picking that up. Yeah, that's a nice reflective game cartridge right there. I haven't played this much. I did find out, funnily enough, I bought it thinking, oh, my game system's not going to be able to play it because it's a North American copy. Also, look at this Club Nintendo. It's cool. This is what they got for the Japanese consoles. This was part of the Touch Generations. where they're talking about the touch generations. Wii, 25,000 yen? That doesn't seem that bad by today's standards. Yeah, I thought this wouldn't work on my own console because it's a North American 3DS. But it does because I looked it up later. The DS, literally one of Nintendo's only non-region locked consoles. Literally every other console had region locking either directly programmed into the console itself or merely because of how cartridges were shaped. Like, what? You legitimately did not program it into this console. I have tried playing this a little bit, but not that much. Because, again, I can't read Japanese. It might make me a little bit more motivated to learn Japanese. But, you know. Am I really going to learn how to read Japanese just for this game? This is more like an oddity for my collection. I can play it, so that's fun. I'll probably look into it a little bit more. Yeah, Rhythm Tengoku Gold Index. It's so weird how Japanese games will interchangeably use English and kanji. Like, they use, you know, numbers, traditional numbers, and even names for things, like Nintendo is in English, and then the name was there, Rhythm Tengoku Gold Index, again in English. Nintendo 3DS, like, name is in English. What's that all about? Club is in English. It's really confusing the way they would name things. But with that, that is going to do it for this episode, this part. Again, next time we will be looking at my Nintendo Switch collection. But I thought this would be a fun way to end it off with a Japanese game. It's so weird. I'm questioning why I bought it. No, I'm not. But once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.